What's going on, guys? I'm still alive. It's been a minute. So much going on. Alright, so let me see. Last time, I was just waiting for surgery and I finally had it. And, just so much stuff going on, and let me fill you in. So I got the surgery and small complication. I got an ileus, which pretty much means that I couldn't digest food or water. So I was having all this output, and you're maybe asking yourself, well, how are you having output you can't digest? Well, I got one of these bad boys installed. This thing, one of these is hanging off from my belly. A lot of what was going through the IV was coming out through here. And it was way too much that they had to install a tube into my nose, down my throat, into my stomach to pump it out. And I was like that for maybe 3 days, just all this bile coming out. I couldn't eat, couldn't drink water. Everything, all the nutrition I was getting was through the IV in my arm. And so I was going to get a PICC line as well. And what that is food in a bag. But you can't get it through a regular IV. So they were going to put that PICC line right into my arm, because there's a big vein in there. They got to use an ultrasound to install it, but I barely dodged that bullet. Because the day they were going to put it, my output stopped. It slowed down enough where I can start eating solids. Slowly. Start with liquid, then move to solids. And so I was in the hospital for 12 days, didn't have any food or water for 8. And yeah, it was an experience. I had that tube in there. I was like with my head down the whole time, because I had it like taped onto my nose. I didn't want to move because it would hurt. It got irritated. And the first couple of days, I could feel that tube moving around in my throat, sometimes in my chest. And since your stomach is always moving around, that they put that tube really deep in there, more than they had to. So it was like all coiled up in my stomach. So they, like 2 times, they had to come and pull it out a bit, and pull it out a bit. And they encourage you to walk around. So I had to be walking around with, disconnect that tube, and walk around the hallways with the IV bag hanging off that thing with the wheels on it. And so, I pretty much looked like I was dying. I can barely move, I had the surgery. They had me on all these pain meds. And, it was an experience. What else can I tell you guys? Yeah, so the bag, So I got one of these bags hanging off from my belly. Part of the surgery, because the affected area of the colon got taken out and the 2 ends got attached. So I can't use my colon right now because it's healing and they don't want to risk infection. So they got my small intestine and it's hanging out of my belly, and it's connected to this thing so I can poop through there. And it's hanging off my belly like this, and you know, you gotta open it up and spill it out through here. So that's taking some getting used to, and you know, I'm just getting used to this new reality. You know, it's not permanent, thank God, but damn, it's just weird as hell. But I'm, you know, I feel so lucky that I don't have to live with this thing for the rest of my life, because it's a freaking nightmare. It's a freaking nightmare, and I freak out every time I gotta change this thing. And you get some adhesive stuck to they call it the stoma, that part of the small intestine that's hanging out, and you got that glue around it. You know, I got some hair that goes on my belly, so it gets stuck to that. And you know, I'm just like, dude, let's just get this over with. I want to get it done like that. But yeah, you know, I'm just adjusting to all this still. You know, I know it's been a minute since I talked to you guys, put out a video, so I was like, you know what, let me take the time right now to do it. You know, fill you guys in what's going on with me. And so, I mean, I'm just, like I said, getting used to that, trying to keep busy, you know, still recovering from surgery, but, you know, every day I'm getting, you know, a little bit stronger, a little bit, not as much pain. The only thing right now is that I'm not lifting anything too heavy because, you know, since I got that surgery in my stomach and my intestines, you know, it's not ideal for me to do that, and I don't want to risk any complications. Because I mean, as well as with the surgery, you know, there was points where I couldn't even sit and I couldn't walk. I just would stand there because it was just too much. But you know what? Like, I'm getting more and more mobile every day. You know, started driving again, walking the dog. So, you know, I'm not, you know, in bed all day, you know, so trying to keep myself busy, you know, trying to do some online courses, keep active, because if not, I'm gonna lose my mind. You know, I can't just watch TV and play video games. You know, I feel like I'm wasting too much time, and you know, I'm just trying to stay active, and hopefully I get this thing taken out of soon, you know, get back to normal. And I've heard some people have it for 3 to 6 months, around that. Hopefully it's a lot shorter for me. They tell me that, you know, since I'm young, you know, I should be healed up and ready to go soon, so fingers crossed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just trying to figure things out right now. You know, you got a lot of free time, so try to fill up that void of what do I do? Not working, obviously. Can't. Even though I heard some people go back to work after a while, it's just like having this thing hang off of you. It's not the business. It'll fill up, gets heavy, and you know, it's really uncomfortable. If it starts getting heavy, you do not want to be walking around with it. And it'll get puffy, so one side of my belly looks like I'm pregnant. So yeah, it's just getting used to this. That's all it is. Getting used to having that, having this thing sticking out. But you know what? Slowly but surely, you know what? You get used to it and you move on. That's all you can do. So, I'll see you guys on the next one.